Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And we're going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers, and I'll admit, I was kind of very disappointed that, literally one person showed up to the stream last night, but kind of my fault. Kind of did everything, within minutes, so got no one but myself to blame for that. But anyways, before we get to the disclaimers, real talk, folks. You know how I start these vids. Once again, individuals are claiming, oh, but it's just a cash grab. You just support these celebrities. It's either I'm getting paid, I'm a bot, or I'm just mindlessly starstruck. It's literally none of the above, folks. Literally none of the above. I don't know how many times I gotta say it before it sinks in, but I always defend my own. Especially when they bring facts and evidence. And guess what? That's kind of our MO. It's what we do. But yeah, another day of, well, you just defend JD because of money. Let me put it bluntly for you. So far, I have been told that I'm getting played by George Soros, Johnny Depp. I'm sure it won't be long before people say I'm being paid by Manson too. Let me explain this to you in as blunt terms as I can possibly put it. If I were being paid by these individuals, hear me on this, folks. Hear me. If I were getting paid, y'all would know it, because you'd never see my ass again. Because I would get me some nice beachfront property. And there I'd be, me and my cat. Just say it. I sure as hell would not be stuck in the redneck mega church hell that is known as Missouri, okay? Let's get real here, real talk. I hate it here. I've hated it here my whole life, okay? If I was somehow getting paid by all these individuals that I'm supposedly getting paid for to do what I do, I sure as hell wouldn't be here. Okay? I've been doing this my whole adult life. Literally, my whole adult life. I defend my own, especially when they are being demonized. As for why would I stand for Manson, well, let's just put it bluntly here. I'm autistic, okay? I don't like lies. I don't like, in particular, as a 90s ancient autistic, to be told to ignore the evidence and that if I'm not, I'm somehow misogynist. Okay? Nah. You cannot gaslight me into ignoring evidence. Nor can you sit there and lie about me and say that I'm in it for the money. Because take a look around. Does it look like I'm pulling in the big bucks to you? You think I enjoy call center work? No, I really don't. I really don't. And I really don't like when neurotypical women try to gaslight me into ignoring evidence and facts and telling me that I'm not standing by my sister. None of these women are my sister. Okay? Not a single one of them. They don't even begin to comprehend nor understand what it is like for women like me under the neurodiverse umbrella. They have not the first goddamn clue. None. Absolutely none. I don't know. This is just another. I talk about it because I don't have a lot of places to blow off steam, and this is kind of the one place that I do. I'm trying not to curse a lot. I'm trying to bring it down. I can't comprehend the current state that the world is in, or they insist that I ignore evidence, ignore facts, and more even annoyingly, especially for someone like me, to try and tell me that this person is my voice. No one's my voice but me. I speak for me. And I will not be gaslit into having others tell me that a liar, whether it's Evan Rachel Wood or AH, speaks for me. Like hell they do. Like hell. Nah, I'm not making money. Obviously, right? Obviously. This channel is very obviously not monetized, and since we've been mainly focusing on the JRC, we don't even pull in near the views that we used to. Okay? I'm not cashing in on shit. Sorry to curse. I'm trying to curb down, but for the love of God, folks, I am beyond tired of the blatant ableism, this all men, bad all men, the big boogeyman. Every case should be taken by its individual merits. Whoever proves their case wins. This is how I think. You got a story, great, grand, good. I will give you a listen. However, if evidence is brought into the light of day that shows that you are lying, I'm not going to continue to back you. It's just how it is. It's not misogyny. I just don't like liars. I don't like individuals who wear their freaking victim badge and declare that they speak for the rest of us survivors, because they don't. I don't like when people tell me that other people speak for me, period. I am autistic. I have had to put up with that crap my entire life. Let's see here. Jenny McCarthy, Autism Speaks. Done. Done. And if a few individuals leave my channel because they do not like this opinion, that's fair. That's okay. I won't attack you. You're allowed your opinions, but do let me ask you this. Why will you not fact check? It is okay. In fact, I encourage you, as I encourage other women and disabled people who've been horrifically abused, to tell their stories. However, if it comes to light that someone produces evidence that you are maliciously lying to destroy their life, guess whose side I'm going to take? It's not about money. It's about what's right. That as an autistic, as has been noted in so many studies, I too have a code of honor that I live by. Okay? Simple as that. And I'm tired about talking about this. I really am. As you noticed, the primary focus of this channel has been JRC and Agape and the other schools like it for quite some time. Why do you think that is? Why do you think I would go out of my way for all the battles I'm already fighting, both in my personal life as an autistic living in a red state filled with ableist assholes, and against these schools? Why would I take the time? Think on it. All right, folks, in the description box, you're going to find the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. Well, NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. You'll also see linked in there NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding, folks, in case the JRC actually has the cojones to see through with their threat. You're also going to see the link to the Ozark's first article in regards to Agape Boarding School, now known as Stone for Help Boarding School. This is a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has and pending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it. These claims include, which have been, by the way, substantiated by the hard evidence gathered by the Missouri Department of Social Services. They include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a doctor, still on the premises with full access to the boys up on multiple, again, substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You've got I don't even know what to say about our Attorney General at this point. I really don't, because he's still chasing after drag queens who are literally simply living their lives. Continue to lie about them. Him and our governor sent help. Again, I'll state this. If I were actually being paid, you really think I'd be living in this state? Really? Really? Just saying. Saying is all. We got the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, Jennifer Masumba's behavioral sheet of shockable offenses, a clip out of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins back in 2002, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. This channel is marked not for children for a reason. We do use profanity on occasion, and we talk about dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is advised. Trigger warning, we're about to once again descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear victim blaming, gaslighting, pseudoscience, lies, abuse and torture, apologencia, all coming from a man with a massive ego and an even larger God complex. It's a special level of arrogant, chest-beating, stupid, folks, so just be prepared, okay? Just saying. Now, once again, we're going to have Dr. Matthew Israel doing his best poor imitation of Ross Perot. If you grew up in the 90s like me, and I got a graph here to prove it. Yeah. So here's another convoluted, stupid graph by Dr. Matthew Israel. If you want to know why I call it stupid, is because anyone with any small amount of scientific integrity whatsoever knows you cannot cite yourself in a study. Nor should your methods be tested by you, because inherent bias, which means more than likely you're going to try to skew the results in your favor, which means none of this crap is valid. Oh, but it gets better, because remember, with these graphs, these so-called studies that he does, that he calls peer-reviewed, he pays them. They're on his payroll, which means it's not peer-reviewed. That is not the definition of peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed would be individuals who have no attachment to the school, no attachment to this man's insane agenda, no attachment whatsoever, conduct the study by themselves. Basically, if you're talking about scientific method, what do we know about when we say something scientific it is a fact? It's when the results can be independently replicated by different groups, right? You notice none of that happens with this man's insanity. I'm sorry. I know I rant on this, but for the love of God, the cojones you have to actually cite yourself as a source. I'm right because I'm saying I'm right, and here's the graph to prove it. Let's go on and read this stupid, shall we?
Wait, you forgot something.
Oh,
it was
what?
peer-reviewed by people on his payroll.
No, I added that already.
Oh, I missed it.
But Paul, are you right? And you see I have this paper that proves you're right, and you have a graph to prove it?
I'm right because my cat says I'm right.
Is she your peer reviewer?
Yes.
All right. Exhibit 227 illustrates a case where the treatment of aggression did not become effective until we changed from consequencing the full occurrence of the aggressive behavior to consequencing the beginning phase of the chain of behaviors that typically ended in aggression. Here we go again. Allow me to simplify it for you, folks. Basically, if you stand up, because many aggressive behaviors begin with standing up, they're going to punish you for it. However, this very intellectually dishonest man will also not tell you, although this should be common sense, that there are more reasons to get up out of your seat than violence. Maybe I have to go to the bathroom. Maybe I had to pull the underwear out of my butt. Maybe I had to pull my pants up. Maybe there's an emergency and I need to speak with a teacher. Maybe I literally just have to adjust a piece of my clothing. None of these things are aggressive. The doctor is acting off this premise, but if you jump up out of your seat, that's usually the beginning of an aggressive behavior and a meltdown. So if we target you before that, you won't go into it. This is the logic we're operating off of, apparently, folks. This is the logic. The chart shows the treatments of LL aggression over the course of 9 years. The chart shows monthly totals of LL's aggressive behavior during the years of 1990 and 1996. So let's kind of wrap this up. I know this kind of makes this video relatively quick, but go with me here, doctor. Come with me on this journey and talk logic. First off, your study that you're presenting is not as good. Basically, the only thing it's good for is toilet paper. Okay? You cannot cite yourself as a source. Period. Because you, as a person who is running this program, has already an inherent bias, which means more than likely you are going to skew the results in your favor. Okay? Means that whole graph and all this crap you're going to force us to drag ourselves through basically is meaningless. Let's talk about this other insanity here. You have created a type of treatment program where you will deliberately trigger someone. Deliberately trigger them, folks, so that you can then punish them for it. It makes no sense, doctor. But we can then show you how to properly deal with it and then teach you better behaviors. And then if we can shock you before you go into it, listen to me, Karen. Few things. When I'm in meltdown, there is no electroshock. There is no force unto God that is going to stop me. I am running literally on adrenaline. So unless you're going to sting an electrode directly over my heart and stop it, it's not going to stop me. Okay? Obviously, you do not know how this works. At least not in my case. Number 2, you are essentially torturing someone, punishing them for something that they have not done. No, but they were getting ready to. Oh, really? You're psychic now. You're psychic now, doctor? He jumps out of your seat. You automatically assume he's going to get aggressive. And it could literally be a million of other things that any other student would jump out of their seat for. Really? Really? And the most insane premise of all, to directly trigger someone, to force us to have the undesired behavior because we're not having it on our own often enough, and to then punish us for it, and then to pat yourselves on the back because you've now turned us into emotionless, constantly masking zombies and call it success. I don't know what to call it. But I can tell you, it's not treatment. No person worth any salt out in the psychology or psychiatry community would tell you it is a good idea to deliberately trigger someone into an episode. Delve into what was triggering them? Yes. Deliberately triggering them so that you can then punish them for it? It's the very definition of an inhumane, doctor. And yet, our government during COVID gave these people $87 million to continue this insanity. Our Washington, D.C. Circuit Court declared it completely good and normal. This is why I do these videos. This is why I break down not just the shocks, but everything that they do here so you can see how insane this is. And this is why we got to take them down. We may get those shocks removed one day, but they're still going to be doing this insanity. If we want the abuse to stop, we've got to close them completely down. We're going to close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.